Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning is on poverty and employment. In recent years, on any given night in Milwaukee, there have been an estimated 1,500 homeless individuals on the streets or staying with friends, relatives, or in shelters. My next guest represents an organization that works to help some of Milwaukee's homeless not only find housing, but obtain stable employment with a long-term approach. Andre McMurtry is the employment specialist at the Guest House of Milwaukee. How are you?
Hello, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well, and I thank you so much for being here, and I am anxious to hear more about the Guest House. Tell us.
No, the Guest House, thank you. I've been with the Guest House for about 6 months, and it's an honor to get to the company or organization like the Guest House to represent a population that needs some resources and some help, and a lot of times I like to say motivation.
Yeah.
So.
Motivation is the thing, because when someone's down and out, they need someone to tell them, like, you know, this too shall pass.
Absolutely.
And it's a scenario that a lot of other people have gone through despite where they come from, you know.
Absolutely.
So this year, I understand you guys secured a federal contract to provide permanent supportive housing using recovery support specialists and peer specialists. And with that, you're pushing the number of permanent housing units over 300. I'm sure that's good news for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so what does it mean when you're able to add more beds to help out with the shelter?
It means a lot. It means to take individuals off the street and give them, you know, a roof over their head, a hot meal, you know, comfortable clothing as we get in-kind donations and things like that, and the actual resources that the Guest House is able to provide for our homeless population. The resources such as what I do on a day-to-day basis is give them opportunities to find employment.
Absolutely. Now, we are going to get more into what it is you do and the programs that you offer through that, but you specialize in dealing with men specifically, right?
Absolutely.
And so what is, in your opinion, that sets apart your shelter from others that are here in the Milwaukee area?
Well, when I first got to the Guest House, I was just amazed by when you get to the front door, there's a welcome feeling where you have men outside, you know, maybe taking a break, coming in from doing some type of research, getting out, some type of gaining resources out in the community, coming back in to finish their classes or strategies to overcome their barriers. And when I talk about barriers, I talk about things such as alcohol abuse, drug abuse, and sometimes even mental health is a large strategy as well.
Yeah, and speaking of that, looking at the statistics that deal with homeless men in particular in Milwaukee, 39% of homeless men report some sort of mental illness, 26% suffer from alcohol addiction, 20% are veterans of the U.S. military, and then 22% suffer from substance abuse issues. So obviously, with things of that nature, it would be difficult for those individuals specifically to find a job and keep one. So you have programs that are in place to help people deal with these issues so that they can move forward. Talk about some of those programs.
Sure, absolutely. We have on-site clinicians or counselors that actually meet with these individuals one-on-one for a period of time, creating plans and helping them just to overcome their barriers with those types of illnesses. The Guest House do a great job with the clinicians. I meet with them on a regular basis, basically weekly, to talk about some of the strategies or some of the improvements that we as a group or entity need to come together or just create to help these individuals get over these barriers.
Good stuff. And as I mentioned, you are the employment specialist at the Guest House. So let's talk a little bit more about the employment program and how you help individuals in that way.
Sure. My number one role is to facilitate job readiness classes, which is I'm really excited about it. It's one of my fortes, you know, coming out of school, being a communications major, being a artist. I enjoy teaching and giving our guys the opportunity to get involved with a class that would teach them strategies to gain employment. One of the first things I cover is goal setting. You know, come to the job readiness class, we teach you about goal setting. Not only that, we get into working on your communication skills, techniques, workforce preparation. We also get into an area of resume, cover letter writing or building. We also do mock interviews, interview strategies, and one of the final strategies that we go over is being successful on the job. I tell them all the time, it's not about getting a job. We want to understand and learn about who keeps a job, who can get the job and stay on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are all great things that you've talked about. So what is the biggest issue that you find with your clients? What is it that worries them the most about going in front of an employer?
Sure, and I think it's really the barriers. Being able to say, you know, I'm okay with myself. I'm getting over the hurdles that kind of set me back. Now I'm getting valuable resources that can actually get me to my next level. And we talk about a lot with the communication piece and the workforce preparation. It's kind of like that's the hurdle right there.
Okay.
The communication, how do I take care of myself? Now how do I begin to communicate effectively? And now how can I get prepared to get to the interview?
I like that a lot. And so last year alone, you guys connected guests with, I'm guessing, some 90 different jobs.
Sure.
So what are some of the type of jobs that individuals were able to get and keep?
Sure. It's a variety of different types of careers. I would, you know, a little research that I've done says that it's more manufacturing, warehouse, assembly work, and then we get into things like careers like janitorial, food service. There's individuals that have special types of licenses where individuals have CDL license where they can drive a truck or do some type of delivery job. So those are some of the, you know, and then we can't take away from the retail, fast foods, and those types of jobs. So, that's
if there's someone watching who has jobs available in any of the things that you've talked about, they can relay that information over to you.
Absolutely.
And then you are able to let the individuals who are there at the guest house know that these jobs are available, and if you qualify or we can get you qualified, then it's yours.
Absolutely, and that's the latter part of my job placement and job development.
Yeah.
Getting out in the community to make contact with the employers, to understand who's hiring, who has the job fairs, what type of skill sets are you looking for, so I can then get back to the guest house and share all that information and create those special type of job leads to our clients and get them ready for that interview and get hired. Sounds
good to me. And what is your website address and phone number for people who would like more information on the guest house?
Sure. The website is www.guesthouseofmilwaukee.org, or we can be reached by telephone 414-732-7878.
The good old-fashioned way. Give him a call.
Give me a call.
Yes, and I will reiterate to our viewers that the second annual Move Beyond Poverty Through Unemployment Job Fair is on Wednesday, April 23rd from 9 a.m. till noon at the Milwaukee Housing Authority, and that is at 650 West Reservoir. And of course, Andre, I thank you so much for coming by and sharing information. And quickly, you do accept donations of clothing and things of that nature.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Come on down and just volunteer. You know, help us make a sandwich or, you know, serve a meal.
All right, they need you, so come on down. Thank you again. Okay, Andre McMurtry is the employment specialist at the Guest House of Milwaukee. For more information on the Guest House, you can log on to guesthouseofmilwaukee.org or give them a call at 414-354-3240. Again, I will say the Employment Coalition's Job Fair set for Wednesday, April 23rd. Make a note of it, put it on the refrigerator, 9 till noon at the Milwaukee Housing Authority. And I'd like to make you aware of another employment workshop and resource fair that's put together by our friends at Project Return, local faith communities and organizations. It's happening on April 26th from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the Way of Cross Missionary Baptist Church, and that's located at 1410 West Hadley. Take advantage of that or pass that information along to a friend. That is going to do it for today's show. I am your host, Andrea Williams. I thank you for watching, and I hope you join us again next week as we take another look at Our Issues Milwaukee. Have a great day.